put the lid on it, that's still, an eyesore.
Where's 10th Street? Which one is that? Is that Almond? Or-
Where Dee Dee Cookus lives, back in there, that's 10th Street, where Dee Dee Cookus lives.
It's right there.
wherever-
My sister lives there.
Back in the Covey home.
Back during when we were in high school and stuff? Were your mom and dad back?
No. Yes, yes,
Okay, yeah. And they
Yes.
said Cooch's lived on the end. Okay, yeah, I know. That's 10th Street.
that's 10th Street.
I never knew what street that was.
Well, Dee Dee
That's
still
Cooch's
lives there,
Street.
she's, yeah.
Well, I'm ashamed,
Why?
because you don't know that.
But there's other, I talked to Russ about it, and he has seen other homes keep the trash at the road.
So we're done? Are we online? I guess we are. Okay.
So we can change that if you want to, well, they don't think it's not,
Not in the rear back.
yeah, it's not to the back. Or we can think about it, and come back for the second reading and decide, take a look around.
You're talking about in front of the house?
Yeah, not keep your cans in front of the house permanently.
Well, not keep your cans in front of the house no later than 5 o'clock on the day of your pickup.
Right, bring them out. After 5 o'clock.
No, after pickup. You can't leave them out after
Right,
5 o'clock
right.
on the day of your pickup.
Right, don't bring them out till 5 o'clock the day before, and then after 5 o'clock on the day of pickup, take them back.
I just have a question, so what about if people don't, if we work, I leave my house at 7, sometimes I don't get home until 7 at night. So, I mean, I kind of feel like
$100.
that's,
Hire somebody. I'll come move your 10th
Well-
Street.
The whole
I'm here, sir.
point- The whole point is, please don't leave your garbage at the road. Don't let that be the storage place for your garbage. That's the whole point. Maybe we could remove that 5 o'clock.
I mean, or maybe like word it, that it can't be out there, for 24 hours after pickup, or
Yes,
something like
yes,
that.
change the
I would
wording.
give it a time frame to 5 o'clock, because some
Right.
people do work different shifts,
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
just don't want, corner people that are at home, my fault.
Right. So we could change it to no later than 8 PM or?
Well, I think behind the building is still the issue here. Where do you put it after, when you do have to move it back? Where do you put it? Where do you want it?
I think the intent is to get it off the street,
The
isn't it?
intent is to get it off the street.
Why did you put that can't be within so many feet of the street?
Sure.
I could
And you
suggest-
are?
My name is Gary England. I'm the regional manager with Rumpke.
Kinda thought you were.
Yeah, I should have introduced myself just to be here for any questions. So some verbiage that I've seen in other contracts would be to take the containers down to the curb, and then after it's serviced, to remove from the curb back to the residence. So
Just remove
it's
from
kinda
the curb back to the residence.
Yes, sir.
And what if it's still in the front? What if it's still by the garage door?
I mean, I've seen some that do say out of visual of the front of the house, to where they do have to be behind the house or in the garage. I've seen it worded a few different ways, but a lot of them tend to say at the curb or removing from the curb.
Remove from the curb.
I like that.
Sure.
A lady across the street
Eyesight.
from us is not able, her son-in-law brings hers down.
And
All
they
takes
live,
it up.
and everything's straight uphill there
Yeah,
anyway.
But there's, it's just a situation where there's no way to put it in the back of the house. It's,
So she leaves hers at the road all the time?
No, it's up by the house, it's up by the house, by the front door. And her son-in-law brings it down, and then when they get it all taken care of, Paul takes it back up. But it's just a situation where she's not able to do it either way. Well, see, just take it back there.
Sandy, would,
Yes.
you think it'd be prudent for us to take this and maybe chew on it a little bit?
Sure, I think so.
I think it's gonna be impossible to come up with wordings that encompasses everybody. But
Yes.
maybe we could massage it a little bit to keep it legal and encompass everybody. What do you
Okay.
think about that?
That sounds good.
I'd like to,
That sounds good.
talk about the section 5. I think one of our contracts we had looked at, it required the refuse company, the trash company, to pick up the grass clippings, and we pick up the grass clippings. And one of the things that happens here in South Point, at least once a month, 2 men spend 2 days at our dump. Our dump is an EPA-approved grass and brush dump. Compost dump. And in a compost dump, you're not allowed to have plastic bags. So we send 2 employees down with box cutters, and they cut open and dump every plastic bag we pick up. And if they cook in the summertime for a week or so, it is a nasty, dirty job. I want to think about giving paper refuse bags. If we could save 2 men, 2 days, ripping open plastic bags, and you put them in a paper bag, and the paper bag is allowed to stay, you don't have to open it. We would not have to send 2 men for 2 days, ripping open, in the trash, ripping open plastic bags. And we have to take the plastic bags home. Just can't rip them open, we gotta empty them, and take them back and put them in the dumpster.
Paper
I-
bags we leave,
I'm sorry?
with paper bags they just leave.
They can leave those, they're compostable. It's not free, of course, it wouldn't be free for us, but we wouldn't have to spend the money and send 2 employees down with a box cutter to cut them open. I'd like to get to something like that. It may cost $1 a bag. And we could give them free here at the village hall and not pick up plastic bags. That's something I'd like to get to.
Could you prohibit putting it in plastic bags?
But what else you go put it in?
Get your own paper
We could
bag.
require that you have a paper bag. Well, we could do
Yeah.
that. That could be I'd like to get away from sending the employees down in the hot summer to cut open a plastic bag that's been cooking for a week in the sun.
And how often does that happen?
Well, we pick up those every month. And, soon after we pick up, we send 2 employees down.
About every other month.
Okay.
At $30 a man hour, it's $1,000 a month.
Lowe's sell those paper bags.
Those, and we might,
I never looked for
and maybe our refuse company could help us with that.
I was gonna ask if composting was brought value to your community. Is that something?
No.
I mean, we take everything, so we would just do it. We take yard waste, we take everything.
And in the contract, we could say that, and that would save the village from picking up grass clippings. Something when I see it, I wouldn't want to do it, you wouldn't want to do it, in the dump.
I've done it.
Huh?
I've done it.
I've opened up those plastic bags like that, but never all day long.
You'll pick them up when they're full of
Yeah,
critters.
yeah.
So,
Or
so if the container was biodegradable, we would not have to worry about
we
it.
just don't,
If it was structurally inept, biodegradable, we would not have to worry.
and there are lawn waste bags. I'd like to move, it costs us $1,000 a month to do that. And those 2 employees could do something else.
That's it.
They could patch potholes or something like that. Okay. Is there anything else on Mrs. Daniels' ordinance? Where are we? What we're gonna do?
Come back next next month with your
We're gonna work on
ideas.
this and come back next month on it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that way we'll do that with the trash collection contract too. Would you like to add to the trash collection contract that trash collection picks up yard waste? That'd save us all of it. Is that something that can normally happen?
It's, I believe every contract I have in my region is a take-all.
Take all?
Yeah, we do have, spring and fall cleanups for like big bulk items that are gonna be included.
Well, and you're with Rumpke?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Republic has always helped us with that. They don't, that's just included in our contract. They send extra trucks, sometimes as many as 2 extra trucks for our spring and our fall cleanup to take the big and the bulk items. So it's probably in our contract that happens.
A lot of time they'll put bag limits for the yard waste, but they're high. I've seen them, the lowest I've seen, I think, is 8 bags and then up to like 15 bags per service day. And, I'm familiar with Republic, too. I worked for them for 5 years.
How does that happen if we're gonna include yard waste in a truck that barely handles what happens? I mean, I don't understand how that's we're gonna fill a truck up half a day. Whatever. We'll see, I guess, how it comes out. Okay.
Whoever the service provider that wins the contract, they would just have to accommodate it, send as many trucks as needed. I mean, I put about 200 trucks on the road a day in this area.
Okay, so that's the trash bid. Is there any other miscellaneous old business? Okay, resolution 2608, a resolution authorizing the closure of bank accounts maintained at West Banco for the South Point Police Department. This is a third reading. We will vote. David, Mr. Classen, I think you have something to say about 08 and 09? Or is it just one?
I questioned why we needed to have a resolution to close it when there was no resolution to open them. Lori said that procedurally that would be the way to go procedurally. So, we didn't put is this the one that had
This is the
The amended one.
yeah. We, for the newbies, these accounts were open without congressional council approval. The auditor's office calls them off the book accounts. We've been told, close them, put them all under control of the fiscal officer. As far as a resolution to close them, if we need to do it, we'll do it. I would add, it is in there, I'm sorry. The police chief, we amended it to where Lori would accompany the police chief or the designee to close them at West Banco, to execute the documents, and receive funding from each of the accounts.
Are you on 08 or 09?
I'm on 08, the
Okay.
closing. This is the closing. Receive cashier's checks from that account, from the closed accounts, and have those deposited into U.S. Bank. And the fiscal officer is to receive a statement that shows a zero balance. Did we change that? No later than June 15th is what I would suggest. That's 13 days, 2 weeks.
I agree with that.
Okay, now those are amendments.
Those are the changes.
We'll have to vote on amendments. So what are the amendments to 2608?
Well, section 3 changed, section 1 changed with the date that had September 30th.
Okay,
Change it to 2 weeks from now. And section 3 changed with the procedure, how it worked.
so everything else on the other two readings are the same? So we'll need a motion to amend 2608 with these two amendments?
Are there 3 accounts or 4 accounts? Do we need to change that? Did we know 3 or 4? Because up here it's got
Yeah, up here
It
it
does
looks
have
like there's
accounts.
four.
Yeah.
I do know of three,
Up here
It
where,
says-
The second
the
whereas,
second whereas.
as an evidence account and drug account.
okay.
It says 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
There are three.
So which one do we not have? Impound, training, evidence, and drug count. The what, evidence is not there?
No, the auditor state told us each of these has accounts in the UAN, that it gets put in there, it gets appropriated to the police department, and it goes through the appropriations process. It doesn't get spent wildly and loosely. I'll make a motion to amend 2608
Second that.
With those three
with
amendments?
those as amended.
Those three amendments?
Yeah.
And we'll, of course, with evidence account, mark that out, okay. Mr. Classy?
Well, don't mark out evidence, that was, well, yeah, I guess we could.
There is no evidence account. Delete it, delete the evidence.
Delete it.
The motion's about to fail for lack of a second.
Sandy
I did.
seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did, I seconded.
Mrs. Daniel.
Mr. Classing made a motion to amend resolution number 2608, a resolution authorizing the closure of bank accounts maintained at West Banco for the South Point Police Department. Mrs. Daniels seconded. Roll call. Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Mr. Classing?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Need a motion to accept resolution 2608. Mr. Classing? Mr. Payne?
Mr. Classing made a motion to adopt resolution 2608. Mr. Payne seconded. Roll call, Mrs. Daniel?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Mr. Classing?
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 2609, resolution authorizing the opening of new accounts at DESCO Federal Credit Union for the South Point Police Department. Dave, Mr. Classing, I think you have something there too, some amendments?
What do you do? Do we know, Mark, if we can open an account in a credit union? Handbook's kind of not vague.
I do have a question on that. Where's the general fund currently held, where will it be held?
U.S. Bank.
Okay. I don't believe you'll need this, because my understanding is, and what you've directed to do under 2608, is that all these monies be deposited into the general fund account, that it be handled through UAN. So the way those are set up, those aren't individual accounts, those are actually individual funds that would therefore be created under the UAN, but the big bank account that pays it would just be through the primary. Is that?
That's correct.
And
we're not-
that's how you
Yes.
would typically prefer to handle it, that all these come out of the,
Instead of having accounts everywhere and around.
it's one general bank account, and then you utilize fund accounting through the UAN. So I think
It's not.
probably the best course of action, if that is what you want to do. You don't want to have those individualized accounts. If you want to run it through the village's finances and through UAN.
I think that's what 08 said.
Then
That's what 08 said, okay.
then probably either table indefinitely or vote against resolution 2609, because you don't need to create.
You want to get rid of it or table it?
I'm reading it on here to make sure
Yeah.
that it gets deposited into, because I think it just says, well, it says into the village general account, so yeah, we wouldn't need it. Because 09 was presented outside the body with 08 to open to accounts, so.
Yeah, you don't need to open the account because it's,
One question I do have. When some of these, statement first, some of these accounts, particularly the tow account, the reason it was created under another administration at their guidance because we wanted to take a credit card for the tows. And in order to do that, we couldn't run that through the FIMES credit card thing. So what we done was we'd set that up with West Banco. They were the cheaper merchant to take those funds with. So from this point going on, once we close those accounts at West Banco, we won't be able to take any credit card or debit payments for the tow or impounds until we set up another account with US Bank.
you'd have to set up a merchant account with
To
them.
the US Bank.
That would be each account.
Okay. That would be my only question, that, we could quickly get that.
Could that not go into the US Bank account?
Are we moving on?
I would say we don't need 9, whatever the
Okay,
consensus.
What's council's pleasure with 9? Table it indefinitely or vote it down?
Vote it down, I say.
We need a motion to approve with the amendments. Resolution, we need a motion to approve the amendments for 2609 first. Mr. McCoy, Mr. Classic. To approve the amendments.
Okay. Mr. McCoy made a motion to approve the amendments on Resolution 2609, a resolution authorizing the opening of new accounts at Desco Federal Credit Union for the South Point Police Department. Mr. Classing seconded. Roll call, Mr. Payne.
This is just voting on the amendments?
Vote, yes, approve the amendments.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2609 as amended. Let me say that if it's, you make a motion and no one seconds that motion, it dies for lack of a second. Do we have a motion to approve 2609? Mr. Classic. Now then, if there's no second, it will die for lack of a second.
Should we just?
Okay?
And then,
That's what Mrs. Chapman seconded it.
Mr. Classing made a motion to adopt Resolution 2609. Mrs. Chapman seconded. Roll call, Mr. Payne.
No.
Mr. Austin.
No.
Mr. McCoy.
no.
Mr. Classing.
No.
Mrs. Daniel.
No.
Mrs. Chapman.
No.
Okay, done with those. We need a motion to open a new fund, 5725 for the Phase 3 water line replacement loan. Lori?
It's just, we're starting to make the payments on Phase 3, and that's just to move the money over there to make the payments.
Go ahead.
Make a motion.
Mr. Payne? It's classic.
That's that creates what I call the account in UAN, right?
Yeah, 5725 is the UAN account number.
Where did my agenda go? Debt service.
There's an agenda.
Debt service fund.
Mr. Payne made a motion to open a new fund, 5725 Phase 3 water line replacement loan. Mr. Classing seconded. Roll call, Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
We've already talked about disposal and storage of garbage and rubbish. Is there any miscellaneous new business? We've already had the first reading for our suspended three reading ordinance 2615, 2616. An ordinance to amend ordinance 2519 to make appropriations to current expenses and other expenditures of the village of South Point, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31, 2026.
We need to suspend the 3 reading rule, right?
Okay.
We're on 16.
16.
Make motion to suspend three
The motion
reading.
to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Second.
Mr. Classing made a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule on ordinance 2616 and ordinance to amend appropriation ordinance 2519 to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of South Point, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. Mr. Payne seconded. Roll call, Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Need a motion to accept ordinance 26.
Seconded by Rocky.
Rocky seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2616. An ordinance to amend ordinance 2519 to make appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of South Point, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. Mr. Classing, Mr. McCoy.
What, personnel services, what, is this just what we do every so often in a month?
Well, there was a fund adjustment done through the 24 audit out of the
Okay.
police department, and then
Okay.
where we didn't get money from the county for the taxes for so long, I had to take payroll out of general fund. So
Okay, I thought that. When we're done, I'll tell you what my thought on that question is.
Okay,
I think we're good, but
okay.
we've got a brain here too.
Mr. Classing made a motion to adopt ordinance 2616. Mr. McCoy seconded.
That's it, right.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman.
He's a
Yes.
brain too.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Need to approve the resolution 2610, a resolution adopting a comprehensive cybersecurity program and ransomware payment policy per Ohio Revised Code, section 9.64. Lori, you said this was, we were told to by the auditor to adopt it now.
Yes.
So we need a,
It needs to be done by July 1st, I think.
we need to suspend the 3 reading rule to adopt a comprehensive cybersecurity program.
Make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
I second it.
Mrs. Daniel.
Mr. McCoy made a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule on Resolution 2610, a resolution adopting a comprehensive cybersecurity program and ransomware payment policy per Ohio Revised Code, Section 9.64. Mrs. Daniel seconded. Roll call, Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2610, adopting a comprehensive cybersecurity program and ransomware payment policy. Mr. Payne? Mr. Austin?
Mr. Payne made a motion to adopt Resolution 2610. Mr. Austin seconded. Roll call, Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the transfer of funds for the month of June 2026. Mr. Classing. Mr. McCoy.
Mr. Classing made a motion to approve the transfer of funds for the month of June 2026. Mr. McCoy seconded. Roll call, Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the clerk treasurer's financial report, the revenue expenditure account status report, and the bank reconciliation ending May 31st, 2026. Mr. McCoy. Mr. Classy.
Mr. McCoy made a motion to approve the clerk treasurer's financial report, revenue expenditure account status report, and the bank reconciliation ending May 31st, 2026. Mr. Classing seconded. Roll call, Mr. Classing.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Down to administrative reports for now. Russ?
Okay. So in our water department for the month of May, we pumped 10,386,000 gallons for total for this year. 54,146,000 gallons of water. This time we did a little over 13 million gallons for the month of May in 2025. No water main breaks. While I'm on the water subject, I've been asked a few times about why South Point water is so hard. You know, there's the calcium on your faucets, and you know your hot water tanks filling up with calcium and this, that, and the other. So try to get through this without making it too confusing. There's two types of water plants. There is groundwater plants and surface water plants. Our particular water plant is a groundwater plant, so we pump our water from the Ohio Valley Aquifer. It's an underground river that is probably about 70 or 80 feet deep. Our water flows through sand rock, chalk, dolomite, bedrock, minerals. You know, groundwater is typically very hard water. Surface water, you know, that comes from your rivers, your lakes, reservoirs, things like that. So, you know, the treatment for surface water is a lot more entailed than what we do for our groundwater. Our permit only requires us to remove, you know, bacteria and disinfectants and stuff like that. So, our area, typical hard water, you know, is usually around 160 to 190 parts per million. Our water is probably the hardest around. We're in the area of, you know, very hard water. So what you would like to have in soft water, which you can treat it to make it soft, is you'd like to have anywhere between 0 and 60 parts per million. Like I said, we're about 190 parts per million. We're not required to take the hardness out. You know, we're just required to disinfect the water. There's 5 different methods of softening the water, which when you start doing that, you start incurring costs. So when you incur costs to do the process, that means cost is going to go up. So there's different types of methods of softening: ion exchange, lime softening, reverse osmosis, electrodialysis, and chelating agents. That's pretty fancy way of saying they add chemicals to it. You know, a lot of people have water softeners at their homes. I know a lot of people, you know, it's an expense they can't afford. I get it, but it is a recommendation that, you know, with our water, unless we decide, and that's totally up to, you know, our council and you know, to add softening to it. Of course, that's going to cost money to get that infrastructure built. You know, but it can be done. So I have a water softener in my home, and you know, I usually run about 4,000 to 5,000 gallons per month. In about a 3-month period, I'll go through probably 200 pounds of salt. That's 40-pound bags. You know, that's about 5 bags of salt that I put in my softener. So, and I soften my water to about between 40 and 60 parts per million. So, like I said, you know, our area is very, very hard water. So, I know Sandy asked me some questions about that, and I hope that helps. I mean, like I said, it's, you know, we are well water, so our permit only requires us to take, you know, to do the disinfectant. We do test for hardness probably twice a year. Our permit, you know, doesn't require it, but we do it anyway just to kind of see what our hardness is. So while we're in water, I gave you all some copies of some reports and some estimates that I had made. The first one is going to be...
Did you finish with softening? How much might it cost per resident to soften the water? How much might we have to add to a water bill?
really, it's hard to say. I can tell you that the PFAS filtering system that we're talking about putting in that is being paid by the EPA, that's about a $7 million project. So that is not, the Village of South Point isn't paying that money. That is money that we got from the EPA and through a lawsuit that we had with DuPont. So, you know, yeah, it could raise your water bill, you know. I really don't even want to say, because I really don't know what it would cost.
Well, may we ask how much your salt runs?
My salt, $8, about $40 every 3-4 months. But you got the cost of putting in the softener. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And
But operationally, $10 a month.
Yeah, about $10 a month. So the first brochure I gave you here was, we had, and I talked about this a couple years ago, and it's just, you know, it's something that we really need to get done to these filters. This is the Tonka water. We have filters that we put in back 1990 that takes out the iron and manganese in the water. Iron and manganese is a element that comes up through the rock and the bedrock and all that. And it's in our water, and we try to take about 80 to 90% of that out of the water, because if you didn't, I don't know, a bunch of people, if you know anything about wells and stuff, you know, you're out in the county or in the country or whatever, there's no filtration on there. It's like yellow-brown water. I remember when I first came to work here in '89, I'm from Florida, and my wife did a load of laundry, and it came out, the whites, and they were all come out brown. We thought, what in the world, you know? So in 1990, we put those filters in, and we take as much iron and manganese out of it. These filters have not been, they get checked every 5 years, but like I said, they've been in there about 37 years now, and it's time to change the media. And you see the estimates of what it's going to cost to change the media in those filters. 2 filters is about $265,000. To change all 4 filters, you're looking at about $445,000. This is something that we really need to do. The company that put these filters in, this is the estimate from them. It's pretty much exclusive to these folks that they're out of Minnesota. I've had them in here twice. This is the last time they were here about 2 months ago. And I just now getting a report back. I gave you a copy of the report, but this is something that we really need to think about doing, is getting these filters refurbished.
What's the lifespan
On the filter, on the media, well, so far I got
37 years.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Is that more right on where we should be?
About where we should be, yeah. Now that, you know, we have put the meters in, we've cut our usage down in half. We've cut it by 50%. You know, like I said, we normally would be doing 20 million gallons a month, you know, but right now we're, you know, like I said, we're down around 10 million gallons a month. So it's going to make them last even longer. So like I said, we got 37 years out of, you know, all the abuse that we put them through over all those years of doing 20 million gallons a month. So, but this is something that we really need to consider. This is something that I don't have to take through our engineer. It is just, you know, basically getting a hold of Tonka and having them proceed with the estimate they gave us. And we don't have to do it tonight, but it's just something that we need to, as far as the funds, our water fund, you know, it would take a pretty good hit. It's not going to wipe it out, but it's going to take a pretty good hit. So, and we do have reserve. I think between the reserve and what the balance is in our water fund, I don't believe we'd have to borrow any money to do this. But I know yearly I speak of, you know, and I know no one likes to talk about rates, but it's very recommended to do at least a 3% increase year after year to keep up with stuff like this right here, you know, and other things that go along with the water system.
What if we borrowed money and made 2 payments on it? Instead of paying the whole thing out of what we have now? Water operating has what?
622.
600, okay, and the
Reserve is 150.
it was almost what? Almost $800,000, and this is take $500,000. Do you want to put the funds that low? What if we would borrow $500,000 and pay $250 this year and $250 next year. The rest you got any objections to that?
No,
It
no.
would just
I-
keep the fund
the-
balance up there where we could handle it.
It's like I told Lori, I said, I'll let her take care of the numbers and the monies, and I'll take care of the operation of it. So that's-
The water system itself's in pretty good shape,
I
right?
believe it is, yes, sir.
We've got roughly almost $800,000 in the funds. But
If we did pay for it, we're not looking at a major catastrophe.
No, I don't believe.
Not that you can
Right, you can't predict that, but no. Of
unforeseen, but,
course, my next subject,
yeah, that's my line.
Well, the next subject,
Yeah, what kind of rate you talking about?
and I don't know, I mean, I just brought it up rather, because the next subject is painting tanks. And the last bill was $200,000 10 years ago, so we're straight on painting tanks.
okay, like I said, this is something that I highly recommend that we look into doing, is getting those filters, refurbished. So the next group of papers I gave you is, had a company come in and do inspections on the water tanks. Our oldest tank was built in, the late 50s, 57, 58, somewhere around there. Tank 2 was mid-80s, and Tank 3 was late 90s. So they come in and done the inspections on these, and got a pretty good report on all of it, except for probably tank number 1. That's the tank that was built in 1957. It's got some structural issues. It's got, the roof is rusted out, and some of the main beams have fallen down, and this, that, and the other. And it's not because of, you can't paint the inside of those. I mean, chlorine gas is highly oxidized. It will eat just chew up the rust or the metal in there. So it's time. I mean, it's something that I had this done probably 3 or 4 years ago. I had them come in and do, they dive into tanks, and they go in, they do camera inspection, and they do everything. The walls of the tank, they're great. They look really good. It's just the roof of that tank is really rusted out, and it needs to be taken off and replaced. I don't have an estimate on what it would cost to remove that. It was just them giving me all the issues I got. This is something that I would probably get our engineer involved in to, put this out for bid and to get, other companies to take a look at it. So what I'm asking tonight is that, it's something that I could turn this over to the engineer and have them look into it, and then also look into trying to get some grant, because we do have a nomination coming up in September, I believe. So that would be something that they could put in for a nomination for a grant. I will say 11 years ago, we had those 3 tanks painted, and at that time, just to have them sandblasted and painted, no structural work, no nothing other than that, that was $215,000 to have them painted. So I'm sure that, with inflation and 10 years later, it's going to be much more than that. So.
And there goes our $800,000. Can we have,
But this is something that, like I said, I'll get Arcadis involved in this, and, I'll give him the reports, and then let them go from there and see about putting this in for a grant nomination and to get some engineering done on.
Well, this is a ASAP thing, right? This is
The
filters.
The filters.
The tank.
The tank, not necessarily, no. It's been a couple years. This is my second report, so.
Even with the water going underneath and stuff, it's fine?
Right, there's no issues with the water.
No structural,
No.
okay,
No.
okay.
versus asking to allow him to get the engineers involved? Look for bids, look for grants.
You need a motion or?
Might be a good idea to make a motion to,
I'll have to go into a contract with them, so.
okay with council?
Because that's under your spending limit, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So
I just
Russell,
want to make sure it's okay before, because, the engineering fees could be over $100,000. Yeah.
What options we got?
Sir?
What options we got? Postpone it 2 years and talk about the same thing?
Yeah.
It's up 20%.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, if you like.
Okay, we'll get started.
So what do we do about this? The filters?
the filters, that
Do we have
is
to
something that
do an
definitely,
ordinance
yeah,
or
go
something?
ahead. I don't know if you need an ordinance on that or not.
Okay,
just,
You'll have to bid it, I mean, yeah, if you're talking that much for the project.
You have to bid it?
Yeah, you're gonna have to, for $250,000 project, sure.
Yeah.
So,
And what about paying for it? Do you want to pay it out of the fund?
You've got, if you have to borrow the money, well, let's wait, pay for this, and then if the other project has to be done, borrow the money for it.
Okay.
And if you don't have to borrow the money, then
Okay.
it's a win-win,
Okay. So,
I would think.
does the engineer have to, we can put it out for bid, can't we?
Normally they're the ones that are doing that.
Okay, the engineer, okay.
Yeah.
We'll get the engineer to help, to put it out for bid. And we'll see
So
what
this
the
is
bids.
the company that actually built, put it in, right?
Yes.
They built good toys too, Tonka.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got in water. Any questions on anything in water? Make it, everything good on the softener and the hard water and everything?
Thanks, Russ.
You're welcome. Sewer, we treated 25 million gallons of sewage. The headworks, we're still waiting on the machinery to come in. That is supposed to be completed in the fall of this year. As of right now, we're using the old machine, the old bar screen that's there and still operating, but the new one's on the way. They're having it built. Street department, still cutting grass, patching potholes, and weather permitting and staff. Right now, I got an issue, with, and I'm included in this issue, with tick bites. There's 4 of us over there right now dealing with the tick bites and the Lyme disease. None of us have come back positive on a Lyme disease, but we've had the first blood test and we're waiting another 2 or 3 weeks to do the other blood test. So, the ticks and the grass and all that, it's not been a good year so far with that. The brush pickup will be June 22nd through the 26th. Just have your brush out there on your garbage pickup days. We probably won't be able to get it that day that your garbage out, but we will be there the next day. So if your garbage pickup's on Monday, we'll probably be picking up your brush on Tuesday. It could be picked up on Monday, it just depends. And that's all I got.
All running smooth. All new hires have been through their field training process. Now they're cut free. All shifts are covered without very much redundancy at all, but we are covered full right now. They all are still getting prepared for the SWAT school, which will come towards the end of this month. We done a drug raid down on 3rd Street West, right about Elm, about 2 weeks ago. We worked with the Lawrence County Drug Task Force. We've been working with them, as I've said in other meetings, we work with them quite closely to, to get a hold of what we've been experiencing here lately. Kind of an uptick in the drugs coming back into the area. Not as if they've ever went away, but we've seen a little bit more step up, so we're starting to step it up ourselves. So we've been pretty successful with it. Last week we was involved with the Bridge Day again with the prosecutor's office. That's a time where they take 2 days out of the week and we saturate the roads and take one officer, just do drug interdictions, make traffic stops, and they meet. They have 2 different places that the prosecutor's office sets up, give them alternate means, either charging or services for rehab, so on and so forth. So again, we achieved high ratings. I mean, Stephen Woodyard, he's really good. Landon is really good with doing the interdictions. So we always kind of keep top bar with the numbers. So kind of becomes a competition between officers, between agencies as it could, But other than that, everything's running smoothly. And I'm about back up, about 80% walking. So I'm good to go. So that's all I have.
Mark, you've got some stuff.
I got some stuff.
Well, we're fire inspector, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we can. Daryl Harris with, he's the assistant chief up at Chesapeake Fire Department. But he has his fire inspector.
Certification.
Certification, which he does numerous departments in the area. Which I plan on trying to take his course, in the winter months. But it takes 2 weeks to get that certification. You gotta go through testing, you gotta go to the Ohio State Fire Marshal's office to take it, so. I plan on doing it, but we need to put Daryl Harris in there for him to do my fire inspectors. I don't know if we need to.
I've talked with Mark a little bit about a letter that I will appoint him with, unless council has any objection, I'll appoint Daryl Harris, our fire inspector. The easiest way to do it would be for Daryl to join our fire department, and then the chief appoints him an inspector. But the Chesapeake Fire Department has some rules that you can't belong to another fire department within, so he can't belong to us. So,
They fixed that one, didn't they?
Mark is gonna get a letter written up that I'll appoint Daryl ours. He makes no charges, there's no charge to
No
us.
charges.
No charge to the customer. If the customer asks how much, he tells the customer to make a donation to the fire department. There's no charge. No charge to us, no charge to the customer can make a donation. So we'll take care of that unless council has any other objections for it. Mark and I have talked about it a little bit, and I think we're ready, I think we've got a plan.
Yeah.
Okay?
So we're good with that?
No objection, we'll be good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, AFG grant, for, some more SCBA's, we're running that grant, regional grant for a, ladder truck. Also another AFG grant for brand new hose. So, and there's like 5 stations, no, 5 total stations, but, 4 different stations. You got Ade, Lawrence, Green Township, Upper and South Point. It's all went on this grant, except for the ladder truck. The regional grant, I'm running that myself to see where we get there, see what happens there. Ran 4 structure fires last month. We're running 21 calls total. Those structure fires were in Fayette Township, so there's mutual aid. 3 of them, we run Fayette, 1 was in Perry Township. State Farm grant for that 5 gas meter. I got an email on it saying thank you for, applying for it. And they're looking at August 31st before they're going to award it. There must be a lot of people to apply for that thing. So Saturday, July 4th, got it all set up with the police chief over here in Ashland, Kentucky. Saturday, July 4th, 10 p.m. fireworks. Let's see, something I just want to bring up, as far as, I've been looking into it, but over here at 313 11th Street, we got a house getting rid of cave in. And grass is all grown up. I went by there earlier today. I guess the boys owned the house. So, I just don't want to see nobody going over getting, kids playing or, something going in there.
Is that your last part of your report?
Yeah, it's getting down to it.
Well, we can talk with Seth, and talk with the police chief, and see what legally we can do. And we've tried things over the years, and there are things we can do legally. So Seth and the police chief, what?
Yeah, I know we condemned, remember Lon Thompson when we condemned it?
Yeah.
So I didn't know if we could condemn it or.
Legally, what can we do? Go ahead, guys.
That's probably on his list.
Well, it's on his list, and the chief has always interesting things about the Fourth Amendment and all kinds of other stuff that we have to.
You got the house there on Dean Street, so.
Yeah, that's that pesky Fourth Amendment.
There's several issues.
I tried to call you, you never answered.
Yeah. So, lately we have had a lot of tall grass issues, there's a lot of abandoned houses, a lot of companies. I've had to call mortgage companies, I've had to call these Cypress companies to try to get, I've got emails and phone calls all back and forth, trying to get them to these properties to take care and maintain. A lot of them I have got them to come and cut the grass, but it does take a process. Once I find it, I've got to get a hold of them, then they've got to contact their people, then they got to send out. It's an issue. Some of the other stuff, like the property that we talked down by Southern Avenue with the tarp and everything, we do have the ordinance 91.5, the junk ordinance, but nowhere in that ordinance do I really see anything that specifies the definition of junk. And then we also talked about tarps. Well, are we allowing those or not? And we need to look at, some of the stuff that we need to look at with these properties is what's hazardous to life and property. So with some of this being said, I wanted to just bring this idea up because we talk here and there. I may talk to the fire chief, or I may talk to the mayor or Russ, but if we could maybe set a group of people together and we go out together and look at these properties, like this house that we had talked about over here on 11th Street, just to get, like, what do we do, like code enforcement, the mayor, the administrator, fire chief, and get legal in. And we look at these properties in person together to where we can come up with a better game plan and see what we can do legally with these properties. That was one option I came up with. And the other issue that came up with people having stuff in their yards, well, we had said, well, I'm having a yard sale. That being said, I know people don't like this, but to have a yard sale permit like some of the other villages and cities do, maybe it's set fees, maybe not. But if you at least have a permit that, and an ordinance that states a time and place or a time and place and remove these items during the days. So whether it be a day or two, like a Saturday or a Sunday, and then have it all put up on Monday. That is an option.
You're talking about like a yard sale being at 6 o'clock in the morning and stopping, ceasing at 4 o'clock.
You have a time.
And then that's it, time limit.
Yeah, you have a time to place your stuff out and a time that it needs to be collected back.
That's a good idea.
Just throwing these options out there. You asked me to come up with some stuff, and this is what I'm doing. Now, as far as the trash issue that we have, some of these really bad properties, I looked up Ohio Basic Code, and Chief, you're more than welcome to chime in on this because this is more yours. But Ohio Basic Code 93.01 through 93.99, and it's in page 291. Basically, specifically 4304B, which is the nuisance and unsanitary and dangerous harmful conditions. So basically, that can be enforced on some of these properties. It's just working with me and the police together on some of these properties. But again, that leads back to if we have a group going out, looking at these properties together and coming up. I'm not saying we got one house with tall grass and everybody needs to go out there and look at it. That can be dealt with. But some of these big properties that we have that are a big issue, it would be nice to have everybody kind of go out there together. We look at it, we see the issues, we determine, what's hazardous, and we come up with a game plan to fix it. So,
Sounds like a good idea.
that also being said, I talked to Russ. Russ wanted a form that he can fill out if he's mowing properties that, we can send up to the audit. But I need a way to get to him that makes it easier for him or his guys. So I went ahead and came up with a property work order. Now I haven't shown this to him yet, and this is just an option, and I did. But I can go ahead and put an address of, say, like, I got a yard that's not being mowed, it's 2 feet tall. I can put the address, get the owner's information, property issue, date that I issued a warning on it so that we know when it was done.
Confirmation.
And then my signature, and then I can turn this in to Russ, and then that way it gives him, it helps him out, it helps us out. We can keep these and have several copies made so that you guys know what's going on.
And can you add a parcel number to it too?
We can.
Yeah, that makes it for the auditor.
So, yeah, so that way it just makes it, I'm just trying to find ways to let you all know what's going on. And then the other thing too that I had, of course, you all know that I created a document for people to make complaints on. But a lot of people are coming to you or to you, and I've had a few I've talked to you lately that come to you. But I don't get all those unless you all send them to me or whatever. But if we had a way to let people know in the village that we have the ordinance or the form here, that they can come here and print the form or whatever and fill it out, that helps me keep track of what needs to be done.
Can we put it on the website? Can we put it on the website?
What?
The form?
The complaint form.
But this, and then also, again, this is up to you guys and legal. I don't know if and the police chief, I don't know if this can be done. But in other places, enforcement officers or code enforcement can also go out and issue citations or well, not really a citation, but more of a summons in the court. So I have several people in the village that I go to repeatedly, and then I have to give a warning, and then I give another warning, then I give another warning, and then I come back next week and the grass is tall again. It's like, when's enough? Like, we need to start holding these people accountable. Okay, so whether we be able to have like a summons to where we can summon them into mayor's court, or what? Or if we're.
You can't do that already?
I don't have any of that I don't have any summonses, I don't have any of that stuff.
Is it within your authority?
That's why I said it would be.
Is it within his authority?
No.
It's not, okay. So then, I would,
Grass ordinance, it's not in there. I'll take a look at it.
okay. All right.
Cited in court with a charge, it has to be by a commissioned officer, a commissioned peace officer.
Because I do believe Ironton issues those.
Carrying a charge.
So, again, just an option, I don't know, but I've had several properties I have to keep going back repeatedly to. And then they just get angrier and angrier every time I show
Well,
up.
just say what you mean to say and say that they're not taking you seriously. Just say that they're not taking you seriously, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
they're just, it's not.
Well, I can
But
see
then I
that.
would expect you to get with the police department and write a summons.
There you go.
That's simple.
Well, like I said, as long as I'm getting, I've never had an issue with working with the chief.
I know
He's
that,
worked
I know
with
that.
me, so I'm not saying that, you know that, but.
I would expect the summons to be
We
written.
do need to start.
After a couple of
warnings.
warnings, I think a summons is next.
And then also, well, there's also another property that we need to talk to, but that'd probably be more in private, but there's something that needs to be addressed, and I'd like you all to know about it, so. Just
Okay.
wanna-
Now, then, if you have an ORC that allows you to take action, you don't need a committee of these people to go with you to decide to take action. You take action. You don't need people backing you up. You've got the backup. You don't need a committee to go out and look at the property. If you've got the ORC backing you up, do it. Don't come looking for everybody to come along with you. Get it done.
Here's what I'll tell you. When you have reasonable articulable suspicion, believe that those violations are being made, bring those to me. I will assign an officer to go with you. If they see that those hit those markers, and you gave them the warnings, we'll let you set the stage as far as warnings.
Okay.
All right? If you say, I've warned this guy 2, 3, 4 times, assuming it's a guy, and you say, I think it's enough, and it hits all those reasonable articulable things, it's something that you articulate and show in court, But these are the violations. This answers your question to what is junk, what is something that's bad for your health. Let the judge decide. Well, if we think it is, we're making that step. We'll go ahead and sign, then due process starts. We'll cite them into this court. If it's something that our judge can't make a decision on, he has a right to transfer it to a higher court. He can transfer it to capital. And we'll just start it. I mean, we'll get that wheel rolling. So it's, you know, doors open, you know that always, Seth. I mean, if you got to the point of frustration with them, we'll cite them. Okay?
So we can have some good news on that next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's all I got.
Any other questions for Seth?
You said something about the junk ordinance, so is that something that the council needs to put in there? or what?
Again, that's up to you guys. I'm just bringing it, on that, it doesn't really specify
It's-
what it
You
is.
said
It's
junk
like
is
in
not
one of those-
defined,
It's
right?
not defined, it just says junk.
It's like
There's
in
no
one of those
definition
old
for it.
ordinances, and I said it before already tonight, we have no teeth in a lot of those old ordinances put in 15, 20 years ago. You know, they say you can't do this, but they don't say what happens if you do it. And you can warn, we have no teeth. So we begin to do that, we begin to improve that over the last few years and put some teeth into our ordinances.
What's that Supreme Court case, Mark, where I think it was Potter said, I know it when I see it? Which one was this case?
And then with pornography.
Yeah, but I mean, what was the case? I knew what it dealt with.
Hustle it back in.
It's not defined, but I know it when I see it.
Is there anything else for
What's
the,
the deal with this house on Dean Street, or not, or 10th Street rather, over here, that's about to fall in?
This
this
one?
house? Why can't we?
This one?
That's 11th Street.
Oh, yeah, this one?
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
it's 113 11th Street, owned by a lady who's deceased.
The Boyds, yeah.
Okay, so,
Is that Mike Boyd? That Mike
Yeah.
Boyd?
She died. She's-
I mean, are they still paying taxes on it?
No.
They paid it in
About-
2020 is the last time they paid.
Can't the land bank take it?
That's what I've seen.
Can't the land bank take it?
Yes.
I mean, I've been over by there, and that house.
It's
just-
awful.
Oh, it's
I don't know
bad.
why it hasn't fallen in yet.
It's very bad.
It's,
I'm pretty sure it's in probate and her brother is getting.
Yeah, I figured, yeah. 'Cause I looked
which
into it.
slows us
The
down?
family's gonna get, I mean, the family's
Yeah,
gonna
it-
take care of it.
It would probably be advantageous to go back and see the steps that was taken when we did with, Montauk. And during that time, we was able to do it on 2 different properties.
Can we cut that grass while it's in probate?
It was reduced 75%.
Under your current ordinance, is there a weed ordinance?
We could cut that
You can
grass.
do it and assess it.
And assess it,
That's the
and-
rate
and
value.
get those assessments. So
75%.
let's, we'll work on cutting the grass and then get some assessments going. Maybe once a month while it's in probate, we can, because we're not cheap.
And there's another, the one down by your house that's tall,
Dean Street.
Cypress, their signs are on the
Yeah.
door. I called them, they no longer have any control over that
Yeah,
house.
they
So
said it's
I've
not
got to
theirs
try to
anymore.
look into that and see what's going on with
Is
that
that,
house.
is that who had the one down, is
Russ, y'all move that one?
I did, I
that
have.
who we called?
Okay.
When you called,
Yes, back
and they took care of that one on
They
Third
took
Street,
care of
you
the
said
one
that was the
on there.
fastest one you'd ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah, they took care of that one, but their signs are on the other one, and she emailed me back, and she said, we no longer have anything to do with that house.
I shot her an email, the guy that called me about it, shot an email, and you got a hold of it, and it was done within a week.
What was that lady's name? She was a school teacher or something, wasn't she?
Which one?
On Dean.
I don't remember.
Dean is 7.
Anything else for Seth? Fire chief, police chief, administrator?
We have one more report, though. I'm gonna start reporting on the LEPC, Lawrence.
I was gonna ask for
Yes,
committee, are there any committee reports
okay.
to go ahead tonight?
Yes,
So
I have
have you
that.
got anything?
Yes, so the three of us are on the LEPC Lawrence Emergency Planning Committee. And on May 18th, we didn't get to participate in this one, but we will from now on. There was a hazardous materials tabletop exercise in Rome Township. And those are very educational, informative, so you know what to do should it happen, you know, in your area. This was a chemical release at the Heckler Water Plant, and it was a tanker truck carrying 4,000 gallons of sodium hydroxide became involved in the fire and ended up releasing that chemical into at the site in the Ohio River. And the action report will be out soon, and I'll let you know what that is. So the three of us will participate in the committee and in the tabletop exercises.
Did you get the one about the weather spotter training?
No.
If not, ask Mike about it.
No, I will.
That was good.
I will. Next meeting is June 22nd.
Okay. I told you last month I would sign the grant agreements for the repairs on the roundabout. I have begun to sign those. So that has to be bid out, so we're working to that.
Is that the state taking care of that?
Well,
Grants.
well, I have to look at the email. You're gonna get me in trouble.
We need to know the time.
June 22nd.
Been having questions about the boat ramp, boat dock, water levels, weather, everything. I did find out today, though, that the contract agreement says it'll be done by October 30th. So we're well within the contract agreements. You know, people, one man asked me today, when can I fish? I don't know when you're gonna be able to fish, but the contract says it'll be done by October 30th.
There's people down there fishing already.
There's people fishing. I mean, you could go fish. It's, you know, stay out of the construction way, but you could fish. 2 years ago, with the last of our COVID money, we purchased columbariums. I think that's the correct name. That's for people that choose to be cremated, and a place to put their urns. We are finishing up the foundations over at the cemetery for 3 columbariums that we put in the back corner. We have the foundations for the columbariums and a bench to be put out front. I think there are 80 or 90 2-foot by 2-foot urn holders, whatever you want to call for them. So instead of burying urns, now you have a choice. You can be put in the columbarium. So those, we get the concrete poured this week, cure for a week, maybe deliver them next week because they're granite. And they're very heavy, and they deliver and set them for us on our foundation. So we'll start selling those, and we're going to get we're close to getting the cemetery plots again. We have a waiting list for cemetery plots, so we have to get those drawn up and the paperwork done for that. I would entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel compensation. I will tell the public, typically when we go into executive session, we do not take action after the executive session. This one, there is a possibility action will be taken. So I'd like to excuse the public while we are in executive session. If you'd like to stay, there may be action taken after this executive session. Could I have a motion for executive session? Yes.
Mr. Austin made a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel compensation. Mr. McCoy seconded. Roll call, Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes.
Mr. Austin. Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Mr. Classy.
Yes.
We have to record. You have to stay at it.
That's up to you. If you want me to stay.